unasikia Kenyans every other day of the week, hata hapa hivi kwa show Kevo unaweza get impression watu wamechoka now in the international community interfering with our issues.
Yes.
Umeona, it feels like ni kuna mtu yani wako na agenda fulani.
Yes.
What do they really want from us? Wanataka story gani hapa?
As Africa was preparing for independence, the United States was preparing to recolonize Africa, so that all Africa would be their colony. And that's why they set up their military bases in Africa. They go train our military soldiers. Then they want to. The question I'll ask you: what are those people doing in Laikipia?
Manze, all these years.
Wameenda kupigana wale watu wa ng'ombe huko. What are they doing in Laikipia?
Wanachunga resources zao.
Now, where is the resource in our country? You see, are we really independent if they are here and they are, you see, it's like there's what you call the aid. This narrative of Ruto loving the aid and the loans, you see, is what is being used to control us. You see, because somebody gives you loan, they give you their terms. They give you their terms. Magufuli tried to build Tanzania with their own resources without any borrowing.
Yes.
Magufuli never wanted to travel around.
Are you saying we can do without aid?
We can. We have our oil here, but we are not able even to use our oil. Tunaleta watu wakuje tumia our oil. We have so many resources in this country that can build this country, and all Africa has the resources that can build Africa. And that's why they come for our resources as we now go to their countries for greener pasture, where the pasture comes from here.
Yeah.
You see? So the question is, they are here with one specific intention, to continue controlling us. Period.
Neocolonialism.
Not to develop us.
Pigeon. The Negro is perishing because he has no economic system. Huyo ni Marcus Garvey.
Yes.
Aliweka the simplest way. Manze, as long hatuna njia yetu ya kujitafutia, hatuna mali tunaweza enda. Now we are here saying the Pan-African dream.
Yes.
Ina come true kweli ukiangalia kivyako. Is it coming
especially from the Kenyan,
to be realized?
From the Kenyan context.
You see, for Africa, the foundation for the unity of Africa is the unity of the nations. The unity of countries.
Yeah.
If the countries are not united, the African continent cannot be united. You see? So when you are still struggling with small unity down upper, na tribal issues and so many class issues, the rich, the poor and the rest, the gender issues, it means that we are far away from the unity of Africa. So we must know very fast that in order for us the unity of Africa, we must leave the Pan-African dreams in Kenya.
True.
But if today, for example, you realize the German chancellor came here at that time, and after that, the president will say that from now forward, we will be teaching German in our classes. Is he really taking us to Africa or outside Africa? You see? So the key issues here, Africa must start looking inward. And even the Kenyan president must start looking inward to see how Kenya can depend on itself. And this first thing should be, lower your cost of government. That's the first thing, before even you tax me. And they said the other time, look for alternative sources of revenue. I said, if you have the land all over, put ganja there and get your revenue. Because you need now to look on how you depend on yourself internally. Because if you cannot do that, my friend, every day you'll be borrowing.
Kweli.
Kev?
And a slave is someone who sit down and wait for someone to free them. History ya Pan-African. So mwana history ya Traore, the youngest president. The youngest president.
And how
na Ruto
alimruka live.
Na vile our president vile naye Ruto aliruka hiyo story. Na here we are tunajaribu kulia story ya Pan-African dream. Yet kuna leaders already wako hawa realize kuna vijana wengi wanatoka mashule, kuna vijana wengi wamefinyiliwa saa hii na wana notice hata western world haijai kuwa ni a greener pasture. Inakuwa ni slavery inaendelea. Bro, tuko na dream ndo tunaiuliza tena manze. Do you think we are on the right track? President already unasema tuna need kwa already tunaweza kushikana unity ya sisi ma tribe kwanza tushikane. Kwa hivyo tuko far zaidi. Hata as we speak yani tuko far zaidi.
Marcus Garvey knew very well that Africa can only develop when Africans come back to Africa. And that's why the UNEA thing and the ship that was to bring people to Africa.
The Black Star Line.
But the problem is that most of Africans still don't believe that Africa has the potential to develop itself. The same way even most Kenyans still don't believe that Kenya has the potential to develop them. And that's why they run out of the country every day abroad there. It's my call to them that if Africa has to develop itself, if Africa has to be great, they must come back to Africa to work together with the brothers and sisters in Africa to make Africa great. Nobody will come from anywhere else to change this Kenya. Nobody will come from anywhere else to make Africa great. We've seen what they do for us. They give us loans, but it has never developed us, you see. So the solution for Pan-African dream is simple. The unity of all African states must be called for. Because if you are still the small countries of 80,000 people is a country, you wonder how is 80,000 people viable? So before you even move to the unity of the all Africa, let's first of all sort our African problem our own way.
So speaking of which, Tuliona, our president, saying how the Niger coup leader is illegitimate. He's an illegitimate leader, if I can put it like that.
Yes.
Do you think it was a good call, Amange Nyamaza? Because really, I'm seeing people saying Ruto is the ideal Pan-African leader.
Yeah.
Should he be standing in solidarity with the people of Niger and that coup leader?
Na at the same time, usahau, huko even Nigeria nyewe, wazazi, wameanza kutoa watu wao, wakuwe masoja. Wameanza kurecruit the citizen itself. Wameanza kujipeleka, wanataka kuwa masoja, wana support the military government.
Now I want to send the message to all Pan-Africans wherever they are across the globe about one person called the President Ruto.
Yeah.
He has never appeared in any Pan-African event before until he became a president. When he was a deputy president, tell us any Pan-African event he was attending and talking. When he was a member of parliament for those 30 years, I'm not a member of parliament, but I speak Pan-African today, before even I get elected. Now, Ruto amekuwa kichoma. The first thing, he invited himself to Sudan issue. And the Sudan people rejected him. Why? If he was a Pan-African, you see? And then he took the team to Congo. You remember the command team that went to Congo?
Yes.
One of the commanders, you realize he resigned. He came back. Then he takes the soldiers of Kenya to Haiti to fight our brothers in Haiti, where people are demonstrating. The Kenyan is asking UN to give them permission to send soldiers to our black brothers who are out there. Then he talks of Niger as if he's not aware of the context of that coup. Ruto knows very well that the context of that coup is the Niger people refusing and rejecting the French influence in Niger. Then he comes again and actually condemn that. So it means he is after the French to continue exploiting Niger and West Africa.
That's what I thought too.
And that should not be the issue. He is not true to his actions and to his talks. And I want to ask him early enough, before he proceed to proclaim Pan-Africanism, he need to look deep into himself. What is his interest? Is he really for Africa? Or is he a ploy? Or is he the covert of the CIA to control Africa?
Should our president, should he have kept quiet? Ama angesema tu outrightly, I'm with the people of Niger, I'm supporting the coup leader. What should he have done? Because right now, it's like,
how was that his business? Because we have so many issues down here affecting us in the first place.
Including Akina Mandago.
Yeah, we have Akina Mandago down here. We have people in the slum asking for so many things. How was that his business? Why did he poke nose everywhere before he sought his own issues?
Oh my goodness.
You see, so we need to be very strategic. Talking too much will not help us. To the young man Traore. Traore went in Russia and asked one question. My generation do not understand why we beg. And it is my generation do not understand why we beg.
Exactly.
Why do we beg? Why do you have to wait for wheat from Russia? Hapa ukipanda hata wheat hapa kando hapa, it will grow.
I think tunaweza malizia hapo. Pidgin Odimwengu, former presidential candidate, we've been pitching the state of the nation na pia tumegusia maneno ya Pan-Africanism. Guys, I hope you enjoy your conversation.
Noma sana.
Next up, Pidgin, thanks man. You guys, you're such a smart guy. Thank you so much.
Wanakupata wapi?
Pidgin, tell people your social media.
You go just
na zile vitabu nasoma. Apart from me, Rasta and Resistance.
Very quick is that you go to a base called Utawala. It's a small place there in Embakasi East. You'll find me in my humble barber shop there, doing my own things and in my repair shoes. I do my own thing. You go online, you find me at Facebook, Pidgin Odimwengu, Twitter, Pidgin Odimwengu. You can find me there. Across the continent, you get me different forums when I fight for this Pan-African issue. Then I'm also involved in so many issues in Kenya here. I still work on my party. I'm in Tugutuke movement. But above all, one thing that is very clear is that
10 seconds.
I'm a young man who want to tell fellow young men in Africa and in Kenya that we own our destiny and we must dare to dream to invent the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're at the top of the hour. In a bit, we're going to have a listen to the Newswire courtesy of Aseto Alafu next hour. Good morning.